Last episode, I tried to build a Victorian manor, but it looks more like a medieval castle. However, today, I'm gonna redeem myself. Victorian was an architectural style from approximately 1880 to 1910. Today, I'm gonna show you how to build a colorful row house in the style, but not in a row of houses for some reason. You could call these houses painted ladies, but those were technically Victorian and Edwardian houses repainted and refurbished in the 1960s. You can look at it either way. Now, the reason it kind of matters what time zone the house is from is because some of my friends and I have been working on a semi-realistic town that takes place in 1887. Anyways, these houses tend to be colorful, but of course they weren't like hot pink or anything. They were a very muted shade of what in this case is pink. The perfect block for this in Minecraft is cherry wood, especially as it also has slabs and stairs. This build has a very pastel look and I really like it. I did make one really weird mistake, and that's that I added a garage for some reason. Well, the reason is that painted ladies are of course buildings built in the 1800s but refurbished in the 1960s. In order to combat this, I just changed it to a window. The back and sides of this house are really weird and inaccurate. I guess that's because they're row houses. They're in rows of houses. It's definitely a creative liberty, but it's Minecraft. Alrighty, the build is now done and I've added a ton of new details. First of all, a tree. And then of course it didn't make sense to have a garage because this is the 1800s, so I made it a window. And then I added a nice little roof. I think it breaks it up quite nice and it adds the contrast because you can't really see the deep side up here. It's nice to have a little bit of like darkness that stands out. And then I also added a little garden box down here. And then as we enter the house, I of course did the interior. Now, one thing that may catch your eye is the floor is dark oak. Now, realistically, whenever they'd build these houses, even though the outside was insanely colorful, the insides were usually pretty like muted. And it also adds an insanely nice contrast between the like pink and white to just like a nice dark brown. But it's Minecraft, and of course we're not going to double layer the walls for a house that's already pretty small, so the walls are of course still pink. Here we just have some nice shelf things with just some basic decorations like pots and lanterns. Also have a glorious painting, because these were absolutely around in the 1800s. I did put a lot of little like shelves and desks with just some basic decorations on it. But as we come into here, which is the most awkward to get into room, I thought it's nice, even though technically it doesn't need it in Minecraft. I added some safety railings just because I thought that made it a little more realistic. We come into first a little storage and like workshop room, and then once we climb this ladder, we enter our bedroom. This room is insanely dull and undecorated, so I'm just gonna leave it there. As you walk down the stairs how do you look at it? Is this the basement or the first story? Because if you look out here, just looks out to the window. Not entirely sure. The first thing you see is windows, because I added a ton of windows around the house. I think this is probably the best view. And then to the left, we have just a wall of bookshelves. To texture, I use things like oak stairs, and I know that we now literally have empty bookshelves with the chisel bookshelves, but I still prefer the loom. Also hit a lectern right there just because I thought it looked nice. A nice window. With maybe this might be the best view actually, with a hang in there poster, because again these definitely existed in the 1800s. More bookshelves because I love bookshelves. And then we turn around the corner, and first we have our kitchen. I hit a CraftingTortle head again because I don't know why not. More pots because I spammed so many pots and lanterns. So that's that shelf, and this counter we have a sink, which I should probably actually put some water in. That would be a nice little detail. And then we have our oven stove thing. And then over here we have a table that also has a music disc, a jukebox, and we can play Stall, which is the song that I used for the time lapse. So yeah, I'm actually really proud of this place. I hope you like it as much as I did. It is a definite successful attempt at making a Victorian build. It puts that medieval castle to shame. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Bye!